Kim Porter. Do you know anything about her book? Because there's always been a rumor for a while now that, she got killed because she was exposing a lot of stuff in her book. Is there any truth to that?
Unless they can hide unless she did her book on Google Duo and it's in the clouds and they could get somebody to get it out of there, she ain't got no book. It's just a conspiracy. Kim, it was alleged that she did have a book and that her book was about to come out. And she was talking about all the perils, everything that she went through in the music business and with Diddy. But I'm sure that he probably got hold to those tablets or whatever she had, allegedly, and got rid of them. They swimming with the fishes.
The survivors and the late of Uptown Records, they were all writing tell-all books. Mm-hmm. Andre was writing a book right before he died. Heavy D was working on a book before he died. Kim Porter was working on a book before she died. And Al B. Sure was working on the documentary of his life. And then he goes into a coma. Has Puffy ever been in a coma? Has anything happened to him? He must be the luckiest motherfucker, because it seems like everybody that worked at Uptown Records from the very beginning is gone.
Anyone who had the power to expose Diddy has mysteriously been killed in the past, right when they have betrayed any sign of speaking their truth.
Because my main account is banned where all of my Diddy blind items from this month are, I'm just going to do all the March 2024 Diddy blind items so we can see the lead up to this. Starting off March 1st, and this is Little Rod, Rodney Jones, Sean Diddy Combs, and this is the male victim that came forward. It's pretty easy to tell that whoever wrote the recent lawsuit against the wannabe rapper slash producer reads this website on a pretty regular basis. They even use some of the same clues in their blind items. And I said before, and I'm saying again, no, that's because the blind item has been recording crimes that have been reported to them instead of the police for the past fucking 20 years. And they just corroborate the actual little crimes that, 3 homes got raided for today because of. Okay, this next one's also from March 1st. They call Diddy Mr. Freakoff. Mr. Freakoff isn't the only one who asked for straight men to be delivered to his hotel room when he is in London. Just ask the Unlocked blogger, and that's Jason Lee, and the weather boxer, Floyd Mayweather. This British rapper, and that's Giggs, and the socialite with the star in his name target dealers who want the extra cash, who are sure to be discreet because they have girlfriends. This is why the powerful rapper, and that's 50, is always mocking them, and why they're too afraid to say anything back. He's seen the videos. Okay. This is TD Jakes and Mr. Freakoff. Those closest to the televangelist warned him about being associated with Mr. Freakoff, but he did not listen. Some of the men who claim to have stories about his private life have given him the name General High Booty. So Mr. Freakoff is Diddy, General High Booty is TD Jakes. I'm sure you can do the math on how that got there, that nickname. Sorry guys, I'm flustered right now. Fucking this is huge. Young Miami, the girlfriend of the wannabe rapper who was also named in a very recent lawsuit, has started selling off all of her possessions online. This is from March 4th. It sounds like the wannabe rapper cut her off financially. So Diddy cuts his girlfriend Young Miami off on March 4th. You are like almost exactly 20 days later. That's him. Like I said, he was offloading all of his assets into offshore bank accounts, and with his mommy and with his kids, he didn't have any more cash in his bank accounts for Young Miami to get. They were all in the Caymans with the rest of the white collar criminals. Okay, and this is a 2013 blind item that was brought back again on March 4th about Beyonce, Jay-Z, Diddy, Kelly Rowland. In 2013, the Queen Bee and her husband attended a New Year's Eve party in Miami, which was being thrown by Mr. Freakoff. No one who was there has ever forgotten that night because she spent the entire night in the pool dazzling into space. Her best friend, who recently starred in the Netflix movie, called for help, but she was ignored. It's like she was in a trance. By the way, so this is Beyonce and Jay-Z party into 2014 at Diddy's New Year's Eve bash. So you can Google that, like Diddy's 2013, New Year's Eve bash, obviously bringing in 2014. And you can see in the articles how they had had linked Beyonce's Instagram account, and all of her posts from this 2013 party were removed when I initially reported on this blind item from my main account at the beginning of March. I just find that interesting. Do you guys see how all of these chips were kind of falling? This is why I'm also so pissed my main's not here anymore, because I had captured this all in real time. And I remember being like, oh, that's weird. All of Beyonce's posts from Diddy's party are fucking gone, and any evidence of her being there are fucking gone. This one aged so well, you guys. So this is about Little Rod, the male victim that filed a lawsuit against Diddy. Publicly, there are more, but they just haven't publicly done anything. And then TD Jakes, General High Beauty. The lawsuit filed by the producer claims Mr. Booty Grabber planned to use the televangelist, so now Diddy is Mr. Booty Grabber in this, use the televangelist to clean up his image after the first lawsuit with the singer. Why was he so sure the televangelist would risk his own reputation to save his? Look no further than the secret recordings and what he knows about his daughter's adoption. Except, listen, TD Jake, save yourself because you got nothing to clean up. It's been raided. Everything. And finally, Simon Cowell, Sean Diddy Combs, Ryan Seacrest, The Wanted, glad he came. And this is on, by the way, Simon Cowell is rumored to be a notorious harem holder. Kind of like Diddy. The music competition judge/record exec that Simon Cowell is worried that he is next to face the Mr. Freakoff treatment. Okay, so let's raid Simon Cowell's harem next. Not only because of the things he may have done, but because of what he didn't do to protect contestants from the closeted radio exec, and that's Ryan Seacrest.
All the people who have died in the past have been famous people with a lot of power, but now, with TikTok giving regular people a chance to gain fame, content creators have gained the power to speak out. And one of these was Kyle Marissa Roth. Now, Kyle must have been onto something legit because, much like others trying to expose Diddy, she almost mysteriously died at age 36. And she didn't just stop at Diddy. No sex trafficker or child abuser is safe on TikTok.
More. You all know about my lack of fondness for Ozempra. So this is a Michael Jackson blind item, technically Michael Jackson blind item. It's about this 2019 documentary, Leaving Neverland. Has anyone looked who is the secret money behind the recent explosive documentary about the permanent A++ lister? How about that one named permanent A++ list celebrity and the mogul behind everything? One essayed him and the other one hates him. So this blind item is alleging that Ozempra and David Geffen, by the way, has some of the most horrifying blind items. They bankrolled this documentary, I guess, to smear his memory. And this blind item is alleging that David Geffen, Ozempra's creepy as fuck bestie, yacht bestie, trafficking bestie, essayed Michael Jackson, and Ozempra just had unconditional hate for him for no apparent reason. Maybe that's who's stalking Paris Jackson. Paris Jackson recently went live on Instagram and everyone said it was about the Smiths. My money would be on Ozempra. Those fucking tunnels.
Right now, legislation with a potential ban of TikTok heads to President Joe Biden's desk. The Senate passed the bill last night. It gives TikTok 270 days to part ways with Chinese company ByteDance and instead find a new owner, or it'll be taken out of U.S. app stores. The president is expected to sign it, but TikTok has threatened legal action if that happens. It also includes aid to Taiwan, Ukraine, and Israel.
There were other powerful elites getting exposed like Oprah, Epstein, you name it. So with TikTok now set to be banned in the USA, word is that it has to do with the powers that be not wanting the truth to circulate so openly.
And he invited me to some event where I brought my friend with me, and my friend started dating Uncle Paulie at that time, which was the head of security. But that was back at that time. I don't know if he's still working there or not, but he was around for many.
To this sort of the Diddy scene, the Diddy parties, etc. We have to be careful on some of the keywords we say, but substances were then brought in, and that's when things and women. And then at a certain point, you were asked to bring in certain amount of substances more than you were comfortable with, correct?
Right, but that was through Uncle Paulie. That was not for the party. So there's a difference between the parties and the studio and so on. That was just small amounts. But then obviously for me, it was not even the interesting part, like with those substances. It was more like for parties. I was charged with 12 counts of an A1 felony related to drugs, trafficking, and so on and so on. Obviously, sometimes mostly when they charge you, even the feds, they charge you with a lot of things, so something will stick to that because they were not looking for me. They were looking for me to give up my connect. They were looking for me to give out the names, right? So
How does Diddy's right hand man not know that he's an informant for the feds right out the gate, right? And threw you under the bus to get it. Why are they trying to get your person? Are the feds covering up for Diddy? Are the feds working with Diddy to wipe out the competition because you're bringing some small party favors to a party? Are they trying to bring their own in? You know, there's a lot of questions my head then goes to. Why were the feds coming after you and not them? I mean, are these questions valid? Do you have these questions too?
yeah. No, and again, I have talked to different people. One of my really good friends is Gene Deal, as he
Yep.
has been very big on this whole P. Diddy situation, has been talking about it for years. And he has told me that, look, in the streets, it's known that Uncle Paulie has been a rat. And the reason was because when all that stuff happened with the BMF, right? We go back to the Black Mafia family, which the drug ring has supported all the businesses of the music industry, right? Somehow Puff was probably involved as well, not maybe personally, but the crew around him. And a lot of people got arrested in year 2005 and 2006, but some people never got arrested, even they were very deep involved in it, right? And those people probably have to now work as a confidential informant. I'm not saying that is exactly how it went down. That's just like how it makes sense and how it has been talked about for many, many years. Because at the end of the day, if you decide to be a confidential informant, you will have to work for them for a very long time. And they were going to keep reuse you, and they're going to keep and they're going to pay you as well, right? But in the end of the day, the way I saw Uncle Paulie, he was big in the streets. He was a gangster, quote unquote, right? I mean, he's known everywhere. He was a big guy with a big crew, and I never thought that he would be working with the feds, right? But yeah, and he has a lot of power, right? And he bought a media company, so he has just, and he has these videos of all these influential people, as we heard,
Oh,
right? Which is
Diddy is more deeply involved with the government than we know, and that may be one of the reasons why he is so untouchable. In spite of all the evidence against him, an escort service madame he had hired claims he is an FBI informant.
Either they know some of the stuff is true, either they took part in some of the stuff that happened, or they scared that it may mess up their brand. See, nobody wants to be in contact with anybody that allegedly was sexual. You gotta realize when Homeland Security get their evidence together, they're gonna send agents out. You understand? They might send an agent out to me. Yo, what do you know? What have you heard? What have you seen? What's been going on? You know what I'm saying? Did this happen when you was around him? Did this happen back in the day? That's what they're gonna want to know. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna send investigators out. They're gonna send people out for anybody that they can get some information from to help their case. So those celebrities ain't gonna say nothing. You got your man Stevie J speaking on it right now. He'll be one of the first dudes that they'll probably pull to the side and say, yo, well, you say that your man, I heard you on TMZ say that he never did this and he never did that. But ain't this you? If those pictures or those films or anything like that exist, you know what I'm saying? That's what they pay those agents to do. So, of course, I don't believe that none of the people who or his celebrity friends is going to speak or say nothing until they're either contacted or they know what they really got.
So you feel like they might be worried that they might be on tape at one of Diddy parties doing something they wasn't supposed to be doing?
I think that the celebrities that may be worried is because what Lil Rob said. Lil Rob said in his affidavit that Diddy had every room taped and bugged. Diddy had, yo, bro, can you imagine? He had every room taped and bugged, and they found little bugs or little tape recorders. I mean, little those micro projectors or whatever like that, or video cameras. They found them in the house, bro. So by them having those things in the house, and people know there's drugs, there's alcohol, there's loose women, there's loose men, woman on woman, man on man, all kind of crazy shit. Bruh, they just wondering who or when they're going to let this stuff be known. If it's on videotape.
Yeah, man. I know they got to be shook, man, after finding out he was recording everything.
But not only celebrities, I don't think it's only celebrities going to be shook. He had politicians in there. He had princes in there. He also had a couple of preachers in there. Hallelujah. That's crazy.
You personally, you think they got tapes?
Well, my personal opinion that if Lil Rob could be trusted and his statements are true, they got him. They got tapes of stuff.
If you recall, Diddy's freak off tapes incriminate all sorts of powerful people, including people from the government, the monarchy, and even the church. By putting Diddy on trial, the power structure comes crumbling down, and so the case against him must be brushed under the rug.